This is the Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Stanley Lord. In this week's broadcast, communication leaders learn new strategies for evangelism, and retirees witness to those in need. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. The Inter-American Division welcomed more than 100 Adventist communicators from across the region from November 7th through the 8th for the 2023 Communication Summit. This is the second COM Summit held by IAD, as the first one occurred 11 years ago. IAD President Pastor Ellie Henry greeted the communication professionals and celebrated the event. According to IAD Communications Director Abel Marquez, COM Summit is meant to be a meeting space for professional relationships and the exchange of ideas and experiences to promote innovation, collaboration, and creativity within the church. The event emphasized the importance of integration, creativity, and innovation in communication. Representing the Atlantic Caribbean Union was the Communication Director for ADCO, Pastor Henry Monker, Associate Communication Director for the South Bahamas Conference, Michelle Green, and Youth Director for the South Bahamas Conference, Pastor Jamal Franklin.
The reality is, in terms of us to be able to get this gospel out, especially from a communications perspective, we've got to take the things that we've been using and transform them in an innovative way so that we can reach this generation for Christ.
We've seen individuals sharing God through the gospel using movies, using TikTok. We are embracing other means and other methods beyond the regular publication. I think that here at the church, we can do so much more when we collaborate.
Well, we heard today at COM Summit, the first day, that during the pandemic, the youth department and the communication department sustained the church to be relevant during the pandemic. And so we have seen interdepartmental collaboration. The language of our mission field online, young people understand. And we have witnessed young people using their own funds, their own resources, their own space, their own platforms, their own money to be able to spread the gospel creatively throughout social media. And we have to allow our young people to have a space and a place to advance the mission of the gospel.
The meetings began with devotional thoughts by the Southeastern Florida Conference Communication Director, Pastor Arnaldo Cruz, who encouraged those present to rely on God's wisdom to propel the mission. During the summit, the attendees were introduced to various ways communication leaders can share the gospel using non-traditional means, including social media, AI, video games, movies, and photography. The numerous presenters discussed the importance of collaboration between Adventist entities. The COM Summit also highlighted new films by Adventist media producers and a new series sponsored by Hope Channel Inter-America. The two-day event concluded with a powerful thought by IAD Executive Secretary Pastor Leonard Johnson, who encouraged the attendees to share and utilize what they have learned in their territories. Last week, we shared news of conference worker Philip Hume's passing. On Sunday, November 12th, the family members, co-workers, and church leaders reflected on Hume's dedication to God's mission.
He was affable, devoted, dependable, and very organized in carrying out his responsibilities, ensuring that assignments were completed in a timely manner and with dignity.
He was a great addition to the team, led by Pastor Leslie McMillan, under whose administration the conference-wide development plan was introduced and voted by the conference committee. It was a time of physical and numerical growth, and Philip was an integral part of the program.
My first recollection of him is that of a whole person who carried an effervescent smile. Whether being picked up at the airport or being taken someplace, there's a comfort level being with him. No matter what the task was or the request, Phil was always available. A wonderful human being.
I would like to take this opportunity in my tribute to show how Jesus Christ used Philip Humes in a very special way to build up his kingdom and cause here in Nassau, Bahamas.
Humes was considered a man of many talents and trades. He started out as a general worker and continued to do jobs both big and small to help wherever he saw a need. He was also the most familiar face at tent crusade efforts and church building initiatives, as he often volunteered his services in the setting up, production, and breakdown of evangelistic efforts. This dedication to helping others allowed Humes to segue into his role in media when the communication department was first formed at the South Bahamas Conference.
With the expansion of the communication department to include video recording, Philip was given the added responsibility of camera operator.
As was mentioned, he had a wide range of responsibilities, from collecting mail and picking up packages, to driving the conference van and working at the front desk, to trying to get that printer working. Ray, you were right. He was a willing camera person, video editor, audio editor, which he always did with enthusiasm.
Humes was also a decorative master guide and was the first bass drummer and drum major in the Pathfinder band when it was formed. North Bahamas Conference President Pastor Eric Clark, who also remembered Humes fondly, presented a powerful eulogy at the funeral.
There comes a time when you need more than Jesus wear. When all HE with the two long legs are breaking loose in your life, you have to pull on something like all things work together for good. Do you love the Lord? When it seems like God is moving just a little behind time for you, just a little behind schedule, you have to remind yourself that they that wait upon the Lord, Brother Charles Miller, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength.
Humes was well known as a family man who spoke fondly of the island of Exuma. He has left behind his 4 adult children and numerous family members and friends. Over the years, members of the South Bahamas Conference Retirees Association visited some of our family islands and embraced the opportunity to witness to the people in these communities. This year, on October 27th, 8 ladies and 2 gentlemen traveled to the beautiful island of Eleuthera. On Friday evening, Dr. Carey gave a devotional thought about the 3 dimensions of forgiveness. On Sabbath morning, the team was welcomed warmly at the Tarpon Bay Church, following a spirited and inspiring song service conducted by one of the local leaders, Yvonne Adderley and Esteline Ash, led out an interactive and stimulating lesson study. During the divine service, Sister Rowena Smith, South Bahamas Conference Retirees Association President, greeted the congregation on behalf of the group. Elder David Knowles also presented the message for the day. On Sabbath afternoon, care packages were distributed to the elderly and needy in the community. The Retirees Association is always grateful to Kevin Tinker, who arranged living accommodations, transportation, and special tours, and is looking forward to another trip to the land of pineapples. The Adventist Laymen's Services and Industries, ASI, Bahamas chapter held a general meeting on November 4th at the Grantstown Seventh-day Adventist Church. There, the members received the official notice that the ASI South Bahamas chapter, President Ian Green, was voted IAD-ASI Vice President for projects at the recent ASI convention in Jamaica. Upcoming projects for ASI were also discussed, including the Inter-American Division's mission initiative for ASI chapters in this region. The IAD-ASI Executive Committee has deemed Haiti mission as top priority on the list for projects. ASI Bahamas will be sending a special offering to aid this mission project. Members were also encouraged to become ASI representatives for their respective churches. These individuals will keep the respective church up to date and current on all ASI news. The meeting concluded with plans for the Inter-American Division's 2024 convention. This is scheduled to be in Panama from August 14th through 18th, 2024. Early registration will be $100 for all who register before January 1st, 2024. One of the goals while in Panama is to search out business opportunities for ASI to provide funding for other projects. After this commercial break, we will have more on what's coming up in the South Bahamas Conference. And coming up in the South Bahamas Conference, the Children and Adolescent Ministries invite you to their annual Agape Praise Concert on November 18, 2023. The event will be held at 4:30 p.m. at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church, so come and be blessed by the musical ministry of our children. ASI Inter-American Division and Northern Caribbean Union will be hosting a leadership training conference on November 19, 2023, under the theme, The Nuts and Bolts of Servant Leadership. This free training begins at 10:30 a.m. on Zoom. Register now at asi.interamerica.org. The SBC Men's Convention will be held on November 24th and the 25th, 2023. All men and young men of SBC are asked to prepare themselves for this major event where they will gather and hear powerful presentations, dynamic preaching, and informative and interactive breakout equipping sessions. Feel free to visit the South Bahamas Conference website at southbahamasconference.org to receive more information on all of our upcoming conference events. There, you can also view a rebroadcast of our Adventist News Update, along with other local programming from our cable channel, ATV 658, read the weekly logos, as well as the Adventist page from the Nassau Guardian.
The kidneys are two bean-shaped organs, the size of a fist, that have the responsibility of removing bodily waste. These organs are located under the lower parts of the rib cage on both the left and right side of the backbone. Your kidneys perform three main tasks. They filter the waste materials from food, medication, and toxic substances, control the production of red blood cells, and release hormones that regulate blood pressure. Kidney stones are an ailment which are caused when minerals and salt clump together and form hardened deposits. To prevent kidney stones naturally, Healthline suggests that you simply stay hydrated, eat calcium-rich foods, and consume less sodium and animal protein. Look out for symptoms such as back pain below the ribs, cloudy or foul-smelling urine, nausea, and vomiting. Treatments in most cases include drinking plenty of water to help the stones to pass, but in more severe cases, surgery may have to be done. This has been Tanya Nomafo with your help tip, courtesy of Adventist Television, and remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
Let's go now to the Adventist News Network with our news feature from around the world.
The children's Series O, Presente de Nick, Nick's Gift, premieres its 5th season. Inspired by the Conflict of the Ages series written by Ellen G. White, the new season consists of 12 episodes. In the videos, Nick and his friends get involved in activities as missionaries, recalling stories of biblical characters such as Paul, Peter, and other apostles. Nick's Gift is coordinated by the Spirit of Prophecy Department of the South American headquarters of the Adventist Church, in collaboration with the children's ministry and the script writing of professionals from Publishing Brazilian House. The 5th and other seasons of Nick's Gift are available on the video platform Feliz 7 Kids.
Well, that's it for our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. To share what is happening at your church, please email your news stories and upcoming events to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com. To view a rebroadcast of the Adventist news along with other programming and to keep in touch with what's happening in our conference, visit our website at southbahamasconference.org. The SBC Media Network's Facebook and Instagram pages are filled with lots of material from the Communications Department, so you want to check those out and remember to subscribe, like, follow, and share. You can watch and listen to programs from our radio station, Word SBC 88.3 FM, and our Adventist television channel, ATV 658, to get updates insights, and first-hand information from the SBC Media Network as it happens. The programming from ATV 658 can also be viewed on the South Bahamas Conference YouTube channel, so feel free to watch a recap of our Adventist news there. On behalf of our production team, it was our pleasure to bring you tonight's news update. I'm Stanley Fallord for the SBC Media Network. Have a happy Sabbath.